Hello everyone, Robert Rambles here, and welcome back to another episode of our hardcore classic era Mage here on the Bloodsail Buccaneers server. We are back in Stone Talon today after leaving Ratchet. Our Hearthstone was set here, and I realize we have a few things that we can take care of this way. I want to go up here and do the Gaia seeds, then we'll go down to Boulder Slide Ravine. We have to investigate the cave and collect 10 Resonite crystals. We have to visit Ziz again, although we probably won't do his follow-up. I don't think we'll be at level to do the follow-up. But we can go hunting for the XT9 and the XT4. The XT4 is, for me, the hard one to find. XT9 is usually up front somewhere, pretty easy to spot and tag. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Thank you guys for clicking on the video and choosing to spend some of your time here with me. I really do appreciate it. We talked a lot last time about the announcement of the official hardcore Blizzard servers, as well as an upcoming later on and separate season of WoW Classic. We don't have any details yet, and I ranted about it basically the entire last episode, so if you want to hear some about that, including the official post being read off, go ahead and take a look at last episode, and I'll try to minimize how much I talk about it in this one. Because yeah, at this point we don't have any new news yet. But just suffice to say, it's a really good time to be playing Classic Era WoW. It's the golden age. I mean, you know, we thought that was when Classic came out, but I think seeing Classic come out, go through its different expansions, but then come back to Classic Era as the more popular mode of Classic play. Classic Era just feels like a journey through a world. Classic Era feels like a journey through a world in a way that no other WoW expansion does. Even the really good expansions, BC and Wrath of the Lich King, both amazing expansions as far as like their questing and content. Still, it doesn't give you the same sense of exploring this. On foot for most of it. On foot for most of it. And in the air for none of it except flight points. Nothing will ever compare to zooming onto this map for the first time, and just, I remember hovering over all these places, just baffled that these were all places that I could go. No other expansion has been big enough to make me feel that way. No other game has been structured and big enough to make me feel that way, and I think a lot of people feel the same way about Classic Era. It has an undefinable magic to it that no other modes of WoW have. We're looking for the things on the ground. Now, notoriously, these have been hard for me to spot. I believe they're brown little seeds, like acorns, right? We will do a few laps here. We might start killing stuff if we get a little bit bored. That was not the button I wanted. Here we go. Yeah, they look like little acorns or pine cones, I suppose. And they're kind of hard to spot because they're brown and the ground is brown. I have just like good feelings about WoW Classic Era for the first time. I just have good feelings. You know, after months and months of checking the news on WoWhead every day and seeing absolutely nothing. And just feeling this growing dread that Blizz was going to completely forget about Classic Era. completely forget about Classic in general, except for just pumping out expansion after expansion. That's what it seemed like was going to happen for a long time. There was just no news, no new information. After the Season of Mastery dragged on and then ended so unceremoniously and so silently, I just thought, you know, they're never going to revisit this. Then Hardcore just got really popular, and we kind of speculated maybe they would jump in and take advantage of the popularity, and yeah, that's definitely what this is to some extent. But what it also is them investing resources in Classic Era, which is what we need. And if they can create an amazing season beyond just doing the Hardcore official server, if they can make a new season that is not anything like Season of Mastery but that people love, then yeah, I can see like a 5-year plan where we're getting new content. Man, I can see a world where we get new zones to explore. Once they know and they realize and they feel how much the journey matters to us in this game, once they feel that and know it and they've lived it, and then they've profited from it, I think it'll be pretty obvious that where they should put some resources and make us some new zones and some new leveling stories and maybe some new 5-mans to level up with. Put an actual team on it and just like watch it grow. Because I feel like it will. I feel like what holds people back from Classic Era is people think, well, dead game. Game is old. Dead game. And, you know, you're not wrong. It's a game that's been beat and solved again. But if you had this seasonal model where there was new content every season, suddenly it's not a beat game. Suddenly it's not a solved game. Suddenly it's not an old game. Suddenly it's a game that's incredibly fun to play, that has a super engaging world, that has classes that are iconic and amazing. Yeah, suddenly it's not old beat solved game, and you can pull those people in who have that as a preconceived idea of why they shouldn't play it, because that's a real feeling people have, and they're not wrong to feel that way when there's so many brand new games out that are amazing. But if they knew, hey, this game gets regular seasonal content updates, they add dungeons and zones and quests and fun and maybe classes and redesigns, you know, you could really pull in so many people. And let me tell you this, once they are in this world, they're gonna be like, they're gonna be in, man. They're gonna get sucked in. A lot of them will. It'll be unexpected, but it'll happen, because it already happened to all of us. No doubt I've ran by like 5 of these. Feel free to call them out. We'll get them eventually. We're doing pretty good. We got 5 out of 10 already. I see another one over here. I don't know why the music just seems a little quiet today. And Blizzard, if you want to do like new quests and new zones and new content and things like that, but you just don't have the people to write the quest and write the stories, hey, I'll write you some side quests. You tell me how many side quests you want, give me some parameters, send me an email, and I will fire you back a bunch of quests probably the same day. And they'll be as good as or better. I'll try not to make them too much better than the writing that's already in Classic, because what I don't want would be to create like a jarring experience between like narrative styles. So they will read and feel basically the same, but they'll be a little bit better. And I know that a lot of the people that wrote the quest for WoW Vanilla, this is not knocking anybody, a lot of the people that were writing quests for WoW Vanilla were not writers. A lot of the quests they put into Vanilla, they never planned to make it this big game full of quests and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff was added like very last minute as far as development's concerned. So, you know, that's why the quest writing is all different. It was done by so many different people that just kind of like had to crank out all of this quest content. And so when you think about it that way, it's amazing what they did. But now if you can have it where you can have like somebody a team of people who what they do is they write quests and they link those little stories together in zones and tell the zone stories. I always loved that when I used to ask my friend back in the day, well, what's the story of World of Warcraft? Who are the characters? And you know, there were characters from Warcraft and stuff, from Warcraft 3. But what he would tell me is he'd say, well, the zones are the characters. You know, you're being told the story of the zone that you're in and the things that are happening in it and the people that live in it. And I've always like really liked that and always harkened back to that about, you know, that's what classic storytelling is about. It's about telling the story of an area and the things going on in it, and not necessarily the story of Jaina or Thrall or Bane or anybody like that. It's the story of the zone and you and your journey through it. And then sometimes you get the dungeons that are like those cornerstone moments where you encounter like the big bads or maybe some of the big key players as far as like the world's characters go. But besides that, it's just you and the world and the people who live in it. We're going to arrange this thing. I couldn't see it. I turned to fight it and I don't see it. If it gets close enough, we can just fire at it, I guess. Okay, he's way gone, yeah. Obviously, I'm still really distracted today. We're kind of in an area where we don't have to worry about too much danger at the moment. And yeah, I'd love to help tell stories about new zones or even existing zones. We have zones like Azara that we don't really ever get to go into. I mean, you can go into it high level. It's like mid-level 50s. I don't even see. Maybe they put the quest in later because yeah, I don't even see any quest. Oh, we might have questies set to only show revealed areas. But yeah, zones like that are just kind of either not used at all or they're underused. Those are ripe opportunities where you can go in with just a team of writers and some programmers to put the quest into the game, right? But you don't necessarily have to make new zones. You have so many zones that like people would love to spend some more time in. Let's just flesh those out. Let's expand some of the stories that already exist in those places. Let's add some to the beginning, middle, and ends. And let's let people spend, you know, 3 or 4 levels in places like Azara. I think that would be something that would just benefit the game forever. Let's not go into a new expansion where we leave the old world behind and we go to the Emerald Dream. Let's not do any of that stuff. Let's keep telling the story of this world. The world on the map when I zoom out all the way in vanilla. Let's tell stories in this world and let's just keep adding to them and just growing them, not necessarily, you know, not necessarily vertically, but just growing them horizontally. You probably ask, why do I think I can write quests? Well, I spent my entire life writing. I spent my entire life thinking I was going to write fiction. Fantasy science fiction, is what I thought. And then I became a training developer, and instead of writing fantasy and science fiction, I started writing training materials. Which is not very exciting work, but what it does give you is the ability to learn the intricacies of the written English language. Things you should and shouldn't do when you're writing. basic editing skills, things of that nature. That yes, that's what I think qualifies me to at least write quests. Now, am I going to write the next World of Warcraft novel? Absolutely not. I don't have that kind of skill or talent. Could I crank out a bunch of quests that are pretty decent? Yes, absolutely, no problem. That's, you know, and that's just the confidence that I have because of the things that I've done in my life. I don't know anything about game design or programming or anything, but I can send you some scripts. Am I seeing things, or are we done? We are done. Look at that. I've just been talking and talking and talking. I'm living up to my name today. Let's just go turn this one in. It turns into a quest that goes into the Charred Vale, which we won't be doing right now because we'll have lots of other things to do there once we're at a little bit of a higher level. There are harpies back there we have to fight. There are elementals we have to kill on top of planting the seeds that we just collected. The other good thing about me is that I'm pretty familiar with most of the zone stories in the game. So if you're looking for someone to help expand those zone stories, I have a pretty base knowledge of all of them and the kinds of stuff that's going on in the zones. The only exceptions would be some of the higher level stuff like Searing Gorge, Burning Steps. I think changing some existing zones, like even low-level stuff, like maybe adding an area of Duskwood that's being reclaimed from the darkness. How it used to be called the Brightwood. Maybe you make an area in Duskwood that's being reclaimed by the light. You call it Brightwood Grove. And then you could do some new questing out of that. You don't have to take away or change anything about Duskwood. All those quest lines and stories are still there. But there's also another area that is, you know, slowly being reclaimed.
Wish to speak?
We'll take that one, I guess. We're at 15 out of 20 in our log, so that's not bad. What do we want to do now? We're not going over there. We could go talk to Ziz, and we could hunt the machines. I haven't managed to do this one on a hardcore run. I can never find XT4, so let's give it a shot. It would be nice to be able to get it done. And we'll also get the breadcrumb turned into Ziz. His follow-up quest would send us to go kill a named mechanome who will be hanging out overseeing the operations back here. I don't think we're going to be able to do that quite yet, especially since this one, the breadcrumb itself to go talk to Ziz again, is already level 27. I can't imagine it's going to go down drastically in level once we pick up the follow-up. So yeah, we will be doing that later. Trying to think about when I want to go into Hillsbrad. I really don't want to. I want to put it off for as long as I can. And that means we have a couple of other things we can do. I know that up in Ashenvale at the Zoram stand, there is a level 19 quest to fight Naga. In that area, we're going to be definitely doing that soon. I wonder, does this cave go into Ashenvale? I feel like it might. If it did, where would it let me out? Like right here. That would be a lot closer to this flight point than having to run all the way up this way. However, you know, there's a flight point over here. I might check that little cave out. I know there's a way to get into Stone Talon from Ashenvale. I thought it brought you back here in the Alliance area. But the more I think about it, the more I think there must be a way for Horde players to get through too, and I don't think it would be through that Alliance area. But we'll see. There's a cave over here where there's a quest, so I'm thinking this might be a tunnel.
Time is money, friend. Be good.
Yeah, and here's the problem. The problem with these quests is that they could be anywhere, and they could be dead. And what we've learned about them being dead is it could take up to 5 minutes for them to come back. And so, like, we could grind in this area for a bit, but that's literally what we would have to decide to do if we wanted to get them. And I don't know if that's what I want to do. I'd rather go after something that we have more agency in, like collecting the resonite crystals, than to use our time running around in circles, trying to do a quest that, like, we have very little control over. For too many different factors. You know, again, they could be dead, they could be far away, they could be getting killed by another player in another spot over and over again without us really knowing. Like, too many things almost can happen. It's like, it's kind of that thing, like, if you're here and you see them organically, it's fine, but what happens a lot of the time is you see them when you don't have the quest yet. And that does not help you at all. Yeah, I'm gonna say I would rather use the next half hour to go after the resonate. Let's do that. Whew, that's a lot of people for Stone Talent. Although, you know, it is Sunday. And it is Mother's Day today, too. So, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You guys are amazing. The jobs you do, you don't get paid for them. And it's like, it's the hardest job on the entire planet to be a mother. Because usually, as a mother, you're just always going to be unappreciated or underappreciated in some way or another. And it's tough. And there's not always someone there to tell you what a great job you're doing. But you're doing an amazing job, moms. Just, you know, because you're there. You're there for your kids. Am I in the right ravine? I think so. But I'm not sure now. I don't really know. Yeah, I think we can get there from here. This is quite a clever little area. I really like this area. You know, like I said, you're looking at it from back here and you're like, does that go back? And yeah, you come around the corner and it turns out it does. And the old world is like the only content where you see just dynamic landscape like this. It's like when you make the terrain in such a way that like line of sight blocks you from seeing the next objective, it gives the player a sense of self-discovery. You come into the ravine, you question if you're going the right way, you round the corner, and then you have that aha moment. It feels so good because you're like, oh yes, this is the right way. I have explored, I have found, I have succeeded, and now I get to see this cool little area. Now we do have to be careful in here. We have to fight our way all the way to the back to investigate the cave, and from what I remember these guys respawn really quick, and they're really close together already. And furthermore, they run. So yeah, it could be a good time. Last time we came here, there were a few other players in the area, and that really helped out a bit. Looks like we're going to be on our own here today. Fire shield, buddy. Fire shield. Good try, though. If that's what these guys are going to be, then this is going to be a little bit easier than I had hoped. If they're going to use lots of fire, yeah, bring on the fire. We're ready for it. Yeah, like I said, there are kobolds literally everywhere. Let's just try to go straight. Look at all these guys. It's kind of crazy, actually. Luckily, they're just far apart enough that you can avoid pulling too many of them. If you're being careful, which we've been a little reckless with our camera mostly. Well, he didn't come quite far enough. Let's grab this guy over here first. I keep hearing like a mining noise, and then like some of the nodes are disappearing, and I'm wondering why in the world is that happening. It happened right next to us back at the entrance to the cave. But it happened over here. I mean, I heard the mining noise, then this one disappeared, and this one reappeared. Maybe these guys are mining it, I guess. I hear it again. It can't. Yeah, see, they must be mining it. Okay, it's not. It can't be a player in stealth because they couldn't do it from stealth, right? Oh, he has to channel that too. Sucks to be him. I know we have to keep pushing, but I want to collect these while they respawn so that when we get to the back and we're done, I want to be done. I want to be able to just get out of here. I'm assuming we're going to have to deal with respawns. We're not quite killing fast enough to get in and out without dealing with all the respawns. Oh, we never spent our talent point. I get so excited when we level and then I never spent the talent point. Let's just go more frost damage for now. That is the best thing we can do. Let's wait this one out. We don't want to back up too far. Should be able to grab him now. We're kind of low on mana here. I don't like it. Let's do this for a second. I should have done that a lot quicker. Froze him in place with our frost shield. Got him again. Got really... Oh, he has shocked us, and that interrupted us. Because he has Earth Shock. Is there a way I can display enemy health numbers, or is that just like an unknown in vanilla that I just never noticed? Hmm. I was gonna say we didn't aggro that guy. That would have been a shocker. Oh, we got the completion for exploration as well, and we have all 10 of the item we need, so we can actually just get out of here now. And that guy might have just cleared our way out. Whatever few respawns there may have been. Let's make sure we get in here and loot everything. Alright, we're going to take this one back to Sunrock and get it turned in. Alright guys, I'm going to get this one turned in, and then I'm going to take a break here for today. Thank you all so much for being here, and for spending your time with me here in Azeroth. I really do appreciate you. Happy Mother's Day, belatedly, to the mothers out there. And everybody take care of yourselves, and take care of each other, and we will see you back here again very soon. Bye for now.